mean, this journey we've been on is been a few months. But how did it feel? How does it feel today? And how did it feel when you made the decision?
I think to begin with, it was just more of this feeling like clearly excitement, but it immediately felt like I made the right choice. I felt like I had this feeling of okay, the journey starts now, even though the journey's already started. I felt like it was almost an immediate reaction of, okay, what's next? And what do we have to do now? That was kind of it.
Yeah, I can see how you felt that way. For what it's worth, it was the same for me as well. It was a reset point. Because this isn't now 1 year or 2 years. This is a journey we're doing together, a multi-year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What does that mean to you? I can tell you what it means to me, but what does that mean to you, the multi-year bit?
For me, it's more about when you race, there's always kind of a focus on the short term, because you're looking short term because everything matters. Your performance and the way that you're seen is only characterized from your previous week. And you're kind of fighting this constant feeling of, it's not validation, but it's I've got to do a good job in the now. And I think about it like what's important for next race. Whereas this, it feels like it opens you up. It feels like there's now a bigger mindset goal of, okay, what steps, what areas do we need to improve in? Where are the main areas that I can help? Where can I put or establish an influence and get the team into this position? Because I think for everyone in this team, we know it's a journey and everyone has a role to play, and it's just trying to, like everything, figure out our weaknesses and just be on it, really, without sounding too corny.
No, so this is how I see it. Before, what we had is you have to perform in the now in order to create the now as well.
Yeah.
This is about, I want to produce you a championship winning car. This team wants to produce that as well. That's a serious goal. It sounds fluffy.
No.
But it's a serious goal. What's more is I feel a personal responsibility towards you. You have a peak in your career. You'll be in it for a while, but you have a peak in it. You're coming into it. That's as simple as that. My responsibility is, whilst you're there, we have to give you the best equipment possible. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about this multi-year journey together. Yeah. It's because it's not about the now anymore. It's about how do we put you on our shoulders, walk with pride, and give you every opportunity. Doing this is a huge vote of confidence for the team. You saw the reaction downstairs.
That's good.
Which sort of, that's a better reaction than when I joined. Actually. Is that how you see it as well? Do you see that you signing is a vote of confidence for everyone?
Yes. No, I definitely can see that. I felt like we talked about it. I know we've really only put pen to paper not so long ago, but in the process, it's been about, I think, trying to use this as a shift to everyone, to try to motivate everyone and to really realize that I'm hoping the fact that I believe in this team, to everyone at the factory, that's a reason in itself to realize that we all can do this, and I feel like I hope I can give that reassurance in some ways to everyone, to know that I believe this journey, so you should too.
Yeah, well said. It's off script. I do one thing to demystify contract signing, because everyone always sees it on TV and we're lined up here and there's a piece of paper on the table and sign it. Can you describe exactly, Alex, to everyone where you were and what you were doing just before you signed that piece of paper?
I was in a car on the way to kiss some stingrays.
That's exactly it.
I actually was going to do the stingray first, but we wanted it done that day.
Yep. And
with the time zones being about 7 or 8 hours, I had to we had to take a quick stop to the office. So I signed. I don't know if the paper came across a bit soggy.
There was definitely signs that you'd just come out of the water. And to demystify my side of things, I was sat in the office quite late at night going, how many stingrays is he kissing? Because I need to go home.
4.
That's it. And that's how you sign contracts.
Yeah, that's very true. I guess you were brought up thinking it's behind that desk.
Correct.
And very Michael Scott kind of handshake in the middle. for this. No, no.
What's been your favourite moment with the team, or your best memory? Perhaps, actually do two, sorry to change the question, but best memory in the car and best memory in the team.
Okay. My best memory in the car was
last night, I think, probably.
I would say clearly my best memory in the car was, it's not that obvious, but Zandvoort. It wasn't necessarily qualifying itself, but the whole weekend. It was a feeling that, for reasons that by now we've understood, the car felt so good to drive that weekend.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, I know in the previous couple of years we've always been balance limited for the most part. This year less so, but still finding it. And that was kind of a feeling of, this is what it should feel like. And when it does feel like this, there's performance there. And it's just trying to kind of get into that a bit more. It was fun to drive because it was one of them weekends where you could push it flat out. There was no kind of lack of confidence in anywhere, any place on tracks. It was really good, really enjoyable. And I would say, in terms of just a result, Canada I think for my whole career will always stand out, because I remember us having that conversation about bringing all the upgrades forwards, and then at the time we had a lot of floor damage, I remember, and we had to, you took me to the composites, we had to have a chat with the guys to basically tell them, sorry, because they're going to be working night shift hours, and a lot of them obviously have families and whatnot. So it was a tough thing to do. It wasn't easy. And so when we went into that weekend, it was one of them weekends where we changed the PU as well. We went for a new PU.
It was everything.
It was everything in one weekend, and I've never done that before. And it almost was like, I don't know, there's a gravity, it was a bit of pressure in there, but it was more just, I want to do well for the people that worked hard for it, and got the car ready in time. So to get the result that we got was such a special feeling. It was something that I will never forget.
I'm torn between Canada and Silverstone with you. Because both...
Silverstone for the same... What's weird about Silverstone, I don't know if they're going to put this in, but what's weird about Silverstone is the car never felt great to drive, but we were quick. But Zandvoort generally felt great to drive. Yeah. So that's the difference. It was almost like Silverstone was strange, because I would do a lap and I would think, well, that was okay. And then it was like, yeah, okay, P3. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, hopefully more of the same this year.
What do you think that it is that makes Williams so special?
Without sounding too cheesy, it's the people involved in the team. I feel like it's clear that we're a British team. We've been established as a family team for many years, and you get that family feeling when you come here. It feels like everyone is so intertwined. There's a real bonding that comes into this team, and maybe anyone who joins here must, I'm sure, like I did, get that feeling straight away. You feel, this sense of care and love around here. And there is, with that, I think, becomes a true care towards the team, a true grit. When people, when we have been falling behind in certain areas, if it was the damage that Logan and I have created, for example, I think it's the true love for the team and working for this team that creates this situation where everyone starts to dig deep and achieve things which I don't believe many teams can.
Really well said, and I agree. And then the final one is ultimately, you were in demand, and rightly so. What made you decide to put pen to paper here?
I believe the journey. That's where it's all come down to. I looked at the work that was being done behind the scenes, and you've been very open in where we are. I think the openness and the honesty of where we are, even in the present, we weren't ever trying to say it was better than it was. But there was always an action. There's always an action for us to go down. And it was the willingness of the people that were in the factory who wanted the change. And so you had this feeling that we're always going in the right direction. For the last year and a half, 2 years now, we've all been looking at this same kind of forwards trajectory. And it was one of them ones where, you know, when you look at the results to begin the season, it was almost like it's unfair where we are, because I feel like there's so much that has gone right. And I guess unfair is a not a great choice, because it's racing. In the end, it's results based. But I feel like the foundations of this team have improved so much, and we are forever evolving that. And I feel like there's clearly so much room now for us to grow, where I didn't feel necessarily that was the case when I first joined.
Again, a good answer. Thanks, Alex.